Hi Aries, this is Tara and welcome to your September 2015 Psychic Tarot forecast. And I'm using again the John Holland Psychic Tarot cards. These have a lot of symbolism, as I've told you. They have color, which really, if you think about it, tarot cards are to help stimulate our intuition, our psychicness. Everybody has it. Everybody's intuitive. In fact, I'm calling this September, Psychic September, actually. And, I think one of the reasons is it feels like after the summer, we start planning and we start our projects again and we just start again. We do it at the beginning of the year and then it feels like over halfway through we do it again. And so this is for me, for you, Psychic September. In fact, I'm doing a keynote speech where I'm talking about it's a play shop, and it's being aware of your psychic awareness to create magic in your life. I'm very excited about it. I feel like that is such an important component of everyone today, is to use that right brain intuition. It's much more expansive, has many more megabytes than the left brain logic. Not to say there's anything wrong with left brain. We need that. We need to know how to make lists. We need to know how to put to structure and to be organized. The right brain is more intuitive, creative, symbolic, colorful. So that being said, let's go ahead with your September forecast. And I'm again choosing, and empathically, a 4-card spread. And that's what I was going to say is, are you intuitively clairvoyant, which means third eye seeing? Are you more hearing? Do you feel like, sometimes if you're around someone and you're like, something about this person, I don't feel right. Or business-wise, you get a feeling of who you can do business with. If you think about it, the people on the sharks on Shark Tank, when they always say, my gut feeling tells me. So I'm just encouraging everyone to use your psychic intuition yourself. So I'm pulling cards, and how I do this is I use my intuition and empathicness to pull the cards. And whatever, a couple wanted to come out. And so here's the third and the fourth one. Okay, so let's start this reading for September for Aries. And I love this first card that came out. This is a spirit card. There's spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional cards in this deck, as well as the major arcana cards. This is a spirit card. This is the number 9. And spirit cards denote our spiritual foundation, how we relate to others, as our spiritual force, our aspirations, and our inspirations. What inspires us on a spiritual level. And like I said, numerologist, this is the 9th card of the 9th spirit card. So it feels to me like you guys are starting off your month in sort of a completed way. It's kind of funny. Which, that's okay. We can start off our year or month, whatever, and feel like we have completed some spiritual attunements. I'm hearing the word tuning up. Attunements that you've done. So this feels very good for me, for you. And when I look directly at a card and I use my intuition, whatever I see first is what I hone in and feel for you. And in this card for Aries for this month, he's like holding up the spiritual roof, and it's his head, the spiritual force. It feels like he's holding up, the spiritual force is holding up the roof for this guy here, who's done a lot of work. Okay, so what I'm getting the most is, okay, there's no hair, it's clear, I'm hearing validation, that you don't need anybody else. You have yourself, and that you're feeling pretty amped up. A lot of you, again, this is a general reading, you're feeling pretty amped up about where you're going, and your feet are on the ground after sometimes we have rocky roads. Now, we always have rocky roads because that's why we are in this 2 millennium now, is to be cooperative and balanced and patient with especially other people. So So sometimes communication can sort of seem out of sorts. But you guys you've been down some rocky roads, and this could be with relationships. It feels like the most. It could be in business. But it does feel like there's a smoothing out. There's a combing out of something that you've been feeling like has not been working. It almost feels like, you've been angry with some people for just some options that they have taken that you've not agreed with, or that you would have done things differently. And this could be for a son or daughter or husband or wife. But you're now beginning to, 9 is about, in numerology, 9 is about non-judgmental. It's unconditional love. So being non-judgmental means, okay, do it your way. This is how I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to stay centered. And if you go crazy on me, or if you do it your way, then that's okay, because you're coming from a place of pure unconditional love. And it does feel like the other part I'm seeing is this violet or magenta light that's going around the both of them. And that feels like you're coming full circle on this journey. It's very interesting to me, again, that this card comes up first in your reading. So feeling like you're starting off the month of September in a very spirit-oriented place. So high five for that. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so now we'll go to the next card, and your second card of this 4-card spread is a mental card. And mental cards are how we think, how we communicate, what we're thinking in our mind, how to communicate our ideas, again, our thoughts, whether they're fear-based or whether they're negative or whether they're very positive. But it's our mental card. And this one is the number 7, deception and envy. Okay, so you're thinking, deception and envy. So let me just breathe into that and see what comes up. Well, 7 is a very analytical number. 7s like to analyze. I call them in numerology the IS numbers. They're the biologists, the chemists, the physicians, the researchers. It just goes into all of the looking into the more mysterious realms of the world and understanding that. So that's what 7 is about. So this does feel a little mysterious for me. It also, when I look at this card, I see for you the yellow and orange kind of wavering on his, which that feels like that's what that's about, on his shirt, on his green shirt. It feels to me like you guys have, there's somebody around you that has been wavering. They're like on the fence, off the fence, which way are you going, and you're just ready to get the decision made. And that's, of course, how an Aries is anyway. But it does feel like that you are bothered and PO'd about someone around you who has been wavering on options or decisions. And you're like, let's just get it done. So in that case, again, use that centered spiritual foundation. In fact, I almost start talking quieter when I look at this card because it just feels more centered. So you may feel like someone is on the fence. You may feel like there's some secrets. 7 is about secrets as well in numerology, that maybe someone's keeping secrets from you. It could be business secrets. If you're leasing a space, make sure you look at the lease and make sure all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. Because it feels like in business, it could be another person that you're wondering about. Just tune into that psychic intuition field from your gut feeling. Do they feel right for someone I want to do business with? Do they feel right for someone I want to work on this project with? Do they feel right for someone I want to be in this relationship with? Because it does feel like there are some secrets that have been withheld from you. And I'm seeing papers and documents. So hopefully that there's decrees. And I'm trying to figure out, it could be, there could be, there could be a divorce, and if there is, I'm sorry to hear that, but that would be in your best interest because I feel like you're ready to move on. But if it's not that, then no worries. It's just something that needs to come out in the open that has been hidden from you, but you intuitively, you're an air sign, or excuse me, a fire sign, and you intuitively pick up that there have been some secrets. So just communicate that. Just like you understand it, you know it, and go with your gut instincts on that. Okay? All right, and so the third card of your 4-card spread is a major arcana card, and it's fertility. And in traditional tarot, this is the Empress card. So I really love this card for you. You guys are getting some really be strong cards. So let's see what this means for you. I'm really noticing this yellow circle. So fertility means, again, a project or a person that you're combining forces with, or maybe you are having a baby. But fertility means creating, and it's the number 3. And again, numerology 3 is about creating. Very much the artists, musicians, dancers, writers of the world, communicators, salespeople love to communicate. So if you're a salesperson, take special note of this card, which many of you Aries would be, because you can convey a message well. You're very specific and opinionated and convey a message well. The other thing I'm seeing is her hair is flying back. So it feels like that things are, like I said, they're moving quickly for this month for you. And it feels like she's on a roller coaster, and you're like, you know what, lead follow, but, get out of my way kind of thing. And, in this 2 millennium, we want to be cooperative and patient and balanced with everybody, but we also want to feel our inner power and keep going, because you are on, I'm hearing, a good track, a fair track with other people. Notice how you communicate with others, and notice how they communicate with you. Communication is so key to any relationship, whether it's man, woman, or parent-child, or business. Communication is everything. So it feels to me like your communication, how I said a little bit earlier about if you're in sales or if you're in a form of business where you're talking a lot, be clear on your communication. Be just really clear, and I think you're going to create some, and I'm hearing 9 next steps. So that could be 9 months from now, which would put you into next year, which would actually put you a little bit past your birthday. So interesting. I'm getting around your birthday, you're going to have some pretty awesome things going on. That's fun to think about. Okay, Aries, and for your 4th card of this Psychic Tarot spread, this is a Spirit card, and this is Foundation and Achievements. And so this is the number 4. The first card of your spread is strength, spiritual strength. So you're starting off your month in a spiritual strength mode, and by the end of the month, you're feeling like foundation is set in place. Like you are sure-footed, you are grounded. This is the number 4. And 4 numerology is about groundingness. It's also about loving earth, and just any of you that like to work in the garden or any of that, this would be an awesome month to do that. Planting, that sort of thing. Also, when I look at this card, as you know, this is a general reading, but I look at this card both straight on, I read it how it is. I also intuitively look at it, and the first thing I see is what I say, what I get for you. And in this case, it was his hood, which is interesting. So, because every time get something different. So the hood feels like, you know, he can weather the storm. If there's water, if there's ice, if there's lightning, if there's, you know, sunshine, or it's really hot, or it's desert, the whole spectrum, he has prepared his ground. He has prepared his spiritual foundation, and all he has to do, rain or shine, is put that hood on, and either way he's protected. So that's what I feel for you guys, is you are really feeling it. And this feeling it spiritually is a great place to be, because when we feel spiritually grounded, which is the number 4, then we co-create and into the outer world. We project. It's like, what is your, I've studied quantum physics quite a bit. What does your ideal doppelganger, if you know what I'm saying, in a parallel universe, what is that ideal doppelganger doing? What are they creating? And you might want to take a few deep breaths and just kind of creatively go into that and just feel it and see it and visualize it, and then project out, communicate it. It feels like, for me, for you guys, this is a spiritual feeling month, and you're here to create, communicate, so that by this time, if not before, like I said, by April or so of next year, you're really going to be doing some awesome things. A lot of you and I know many of you are already doing awesome things, but you're going to have started some new things, or at least putting a twist or turn on what you're already doing. So those are some pretty good cards. And I want to thank you so much, Aries, for joining me this month. And I want to thank you also for sharing, subscribing, and liking my readings, my channel. And I encourage you, if you haven't subscribed, the button is down below. And if you would like a private reading from me, which is much more in depth and much more about you, then click on the link. It's www.themagicalmatrix.com or taraventura.com. Both links go to the same page, the same website. And you can browse through that, order a reading. Order reading is a tab at the top of the first page. And you can select on my scheduler a time that I have available that works for you, and then you pay, and that's how it goes. Pretty simple. So I so appreciate your time, and I value you as a person and what all you all have going on this month and for many months to come. So thanks again for tuning in. I so enjoyed it.